All right, this is how I have a fuel return set up on my K20 BRZ. First thing you're gonna do is get a fuel pressure regulator. So I have here the radium small one that just attaches directly to the fuel rail, and make sure you plumb your vacuum line to a vacuum source. So in this case, I have it off a T going to my blow-off valve. Secondly, you have to run a return line. So this is just a -6 ORB straight fitting all the way back. I ran this line underneath the car and just zip tied it to the factory feed. So this is the factory feed set up right here. Going into flex fuel, I need to attach that. Haven't done that yet. Just make sure you get a PTFE line if you're going to be running E85. It's just a toolless pressure adjustment. So that's from the fuel rail side. Now from the tank end, you can see here we have the actual return line. It comes through the car. There's a hole through the under trays right underneath there, and you just feed it up through that, and then basically this will sit at the top of the factory basket, which is sealed in by that ring right there. So factory feed and return, and then this is the siphon from the other side of the tank, which is U-shaped, so you need this to pull it out of the other side. Okay, now from the actual pump's perspective, this is what you want this to look like. So here's the factory basket. Here is the top of the housing. Note that there is a sealed, basically pass-through fitting that you will get in the kit from Full Blown Motorsports that I will link in the description. And you need this piece. So if you have an aftermarket fuel pump, this will look similar, but basically there's a pump holder, like clips, that go to the bottom of this. So your pump would essentially like sit up in there and feed fuel through. You need this piece because this keeps the factory Venturi siphon happy and working. Because right here is where, so originally this is where your stock fuel pressure regulator will go, but you're deleting that. You don't want the in-tank one and also the one on the fuel rail. This is where the siphon pulls fuel from, so you basically want to suck fuel through the basket. Everything is good, and the return also gets suction through here because the pump pulls from this mechanism and keeps a full like air bubble-less fuel loop through the whole system. So this piece is what Full Blown provides. It comes with their 485 kit, I think. Sorry, it comes with their return kit. You can order this directly from them by just sending in an email. It's $100, and it's really not too bad. You could probably make it yourself too if you wanted. One thing to note is if you don't use their 485 kit, a small factory style pump will need to be secured into this holder. What will happen is this is taller than the fuel pump inserted into the sending unit. So once this pressurizes, it will kind of dislodge itself and you'll lose fuel pressure because the bottom of the basket is not holding in the pump. So you can either resolve that by buying the 485 kit they have, which includes like a metal bracket that basically bolts to the bottom of this, or you build your own custom basically mounting unit. I'm gonna be running 85, so I'm gonna get a bigger pump than this, but that's basically all you have to do. And you'll note this line basically feeds this fitting, and this all just sits in the factory basket. So that's all you need to do a full fuel return setup. You simply just connect that return line from the bottom of the car into the top of this, and you're good to go.